Welcome back. All right, 9 games tonight in the National Hockey League. Not nearly as busy as on Tuesday, and easier for me to get everything done and get this review started for all you fine people on the internet. So we're going to start things off talking about the Ottawa Senators in Tampa. And Tampa Bay really seemed to treat this like playoffs. That they understood that they had 2 games in a row at home against Ottawa, a team they were chasing. And so it's Forsberg versus Vasilevsky. Early press by Ottawa. The Sens draw a power play. That was killed off. No shots on net. If anything, it hurt their momentum. Sens press at 5 minutes. The shots are 2 apiece at 7 minutes. Tampa Bay then draws a power play, and they score on it. At 9:22, it's Gensel from point and Kucherov. Gensel bearing a rebound and close. The Bolts look for another. The Sens get pinned down a bit. It's all Tampa. Senators get some pressure with 8.5 minutes left. Perron has a rush chance that's blocked. Tampa presses with 5.5 minutes left. Gonsalves has a rush chance that's saved. It's 1-0 Tampa after 1. Second period, Sens draw a power play. That's killed off. Shots are 3-0 Ottawa at 3.5 minutes, and a 5:27 Amadio. It's a screenshot that's tipped in front. Amadio with the goal from Stützle and Shabbat, making it a 1-1 tie. Sens then look for the lead. We get a power play for Tampa. That's killed off. The Sens press at 9 minutes, but at 10:14, Brandon Hagel scores for Tampa. The assist to McDonough and Vasilevsky. Sens then look to respond. Paul has a net drive chance that's defended. Shots are 9-5 Ottawa with 6 minutes left. Tampa Bay presses with 4 minutes left. Sens get some pressure with 2 minutes left, but it's 2-1 for Tampa after 2. Third period, too many Bolts on the ice at 46 seconds. That's killed off. Vasilevsky then holds a chance right after that. The Bolts then get a power play. That's killed off as well. A net feed to Stützle, near miss there. The Sens press at 7 minutes. In fact, the shots are 4-3 for Ottawa at 8 minutes, and Senators get some pressure with 5 minutes left. They played well, but at 15:46, Point scores to make it a 2-goal lead for Tampa. He puts that one in off Zub's arm. Kucherov and Gonsalves with the assists, so you pull the goalie, and at 19:08, Chernak scores into the empty net from Braden Point. But Tampa Bay is not done. At 19:34, Chaffee adds one from Radish and Lilleberg to make the final score 5-1. Tampa Bay goes to 29-20-4 with the win. Ottawa 29-22-4. So Tampa Bay moves into third place in the division. Shots on net, 11-7 Tampa in the first, 11-9 Ottawa in the second, 11-10 Tampa in the third. Final shots 31-28 for Tampa Bay. Power plays, Ottawa 0 for 3, Tampa 1 for 3. The hits 24-16 Ottawa. Forsberg saves 26 out of 30, and Vasilevsky 27 saves on 28 shots. Next up, Vegas in New Jersey against the Devils. Hill versus Allen. There's an early press by Vegas. McNabb has a shot that's blocked, and they can't clear it out either. Shots are only 1 apiece though at 4 minutes, so Vegas had a lot of zone time, but New Jersey was blocking a path to the net. Howden has a net drive chance that's saved. We get a 4-minute power play for Vegas. That was killed off. 3 shots during that. Tatar's denied on a 2-on-1 rush. The shots are 7-3 for the Golden Knights with 6 minutes left. Vegas presses with 2 minutes left. It is scoreless after 1. Second period, the Devils press at 2 minutes, but at 3:06, Nick Roy buries his own rebound on a rush to open the scoring for the Vegas Golden Knights. We then get a power play for Vegas. That's killed off. Shots are 6-2 for Vegas at 9.5 minutes. Teams trade rushes. Vegas presses with 9 minutes left, and at 11:18, Theodore with a point shot that just goes past Jake Allen. Olofsson and Barbashev with the assists, so that makes it 2-0. Devils press with 6 minutes left. Vegas draws a power play. That's killed off. Bastian has a screenshot. That's held. Devils press in the final minute. It's 2-0 Vegas after 2. Third period, early press by the Devils. Holtz has a net drive chance that's held. The shots are 4-2 for Vegas at 3.5 minutes. Vegas gets some pressure, and Eichel buries a rebound and close to make it 3-0. Hannafin and Whitecloud with the assists at 4:06. The Devils press at 7 minutes. Dowling is denied and close. More pressure by the Devils at the half as they understand how important this game is. Not that they're getting that many shots on the net, though. Stone misses an open net on a turnover. Vegas presses with 6 minutes left. We then get a power play for the Devils, and they score on it. Palat scores this one. He buries this one in close. It only took 10 seconds on the power play as well. Nason and Bratt with the assists at 15:43, so it's 3-1 for the Vegas Golden Knights. With 3:50 left, Vegas gets a power play. That's killed off. The Devils then score, but it's waved off for a high stick, and so that doesn't count. The fans then call one, the referee does not, and Vegas wins this one 3-1. They go to 32-17-6 with the win. With the loss, New Jersey 30-20-6. Shots on net favored Vegas the entire way. 8-5 in the first, 17-4 in the second, 15-6 in the third. Final shots 40-15 For the Vegas Golden Knights, power plays, Vegas 0 for 5. New Jersey scored on the only one they had. The hits 22-10 for New Jersey because they never had the puck. Aiden Hill 14 saves on 15 shots, and Allen saved 37 out of 40. He did everything he could, just the team in front of him did not. All right, next up. The Washington Capitals and the Philadelphia Flyers. Lindgren versus Fedotov. Dubois has a chance that's kicked aside. It wasn't counted as a shot, though. Michkov is a net drive that's saved. We get a power play for Philly. That's killed off. Shots are 4-0 for the Flyers at 7 minutes. There's a Wilson fast break that's denied. York has a net drive chance that's saved. We get a power play for Washington. Strome has a screenshot that's held. That power play's killed off. The teams trade turnovers, and then on a breakaway, Matvei Michkov scores at 17:31. However, at 19:07, Ovechkin scores to tie the game up. Ferrari and Strome with the assists. Ovechkin is now 16 goals away from breaking the Wayne Gretzky goal record. So we go to the second period with the score tied at 1. We get a power play for Washington. There's a shorthanded Hathaway chance that's held. That power play's killed off. And then at 4:17, McMichael scores. It's shortly after that power play's done. Protas and Chychrun with the assists. It's a 2-1 lead. Washington's first lead of the game. Flyers then draw a power play. Michkov has a chance that's blocked. And then at 7:23, Forster's is not blocked. He scores on the power play from Andre and Konechny. The Flyers then press for the lead. The shots are 3-1 Philadelphia at 8 minutes. Caps press at the half. At 11:19, though, on a tic-tac-toe play via a 4-on-2 rush, Michkov gets the second goal of the game, gives the lead back to Philadelphia at 3-2. The assist to Abels and Drysdale, and a nice pass by Abels there as well. Flyers press with 5 minutes left. The Caps press in the final minute. It's 3-2 for Philadelphia after 2. Third period, Sanheim's denied from the slot. The Flyers press at 2 minutes. Michkov tries the Michigan, and the goaltender saves it. See, if goaltenders know the Michigan's coming, they can save that play. Teams trade turnovers. The Caps press at 6 minutes. Shots are 2 apiece. And then at 6:23, Eller scores from Radish to get the game tied at 3. Caps press at 8 minutes. Delorier fires one high on a rush. The Flyers press at the half, but at 12:05, Chychrun goes top shelf, short side to give the Capitals the lead back. Carlson and Radish with the assists. Drysdale's denied on a rush with 1:07 left. The Flyers call a timeout to discuss something, and whatever was discussed does not work. The Washington Capitals win this one 4-3. They go to 36-11-7 with the win. With the loss, Philadelphia 23-26-7. Their slide continues. Shots on net, 7 apiece in the first, 6-4 Philly in the second, 9-7 Philly in the third. Final shots 22-18 for the Flyers. Power plays Washington 0 for 2, Philadelphia 1 for 2. The hits 25-9 for Philadelphia. Lindgren 19 saves on 22 shots. Fedotov had a rough night, 14 saves on 18 total shots. All right, next up, Utah and Columbus. So it's Ingram versus Merzlikins in this one. Columbus presses. They're kept to the outside. The lone shot on net 3.5 minutes in is for Utah. Good forechecking by Krause, but then at 5:51, Danforth roofs one on a turnover. Jordan Harris with the assist there. It's 1-0 for Columbus. Utah presses for response. They get more pressure at 9 minutes. The shots are 4-2 for the Utah Hockey Club, 9.5 minutes in. Bukestad has a rush chance that's saved. Sergachev has a shot that's gloved aside. Utah couldn't bury one amidst a dog pile. There wasn't any path to the Utah net either, though. It's 1-0 Columbus after 1. Second period, there's a full power play for Utah to start. Columbus kills it off, but 6 seconds after it's done, Krause scores to make it a 2-1 or a 1-1 tie, I should say. Doan and Kesselring with the assist there. So Josh Doan on the score sheet tonight. Utah presses for the lead. The shots are 3 apiece at 4 minutes. Utah presses with 9 minutes left. Corrali has a rush chance that's held. O'Brien has a rush that's defended. And then at 12:33, Nick Bukestad puts one in off Werenski's skate. Mata with the assist there. And so it is a 2-1 lead in favor of Utah. Columbus presses to respond. Shots are 8-6 for the Blue Jackets with 5 minutes left. Kesselring then had a fight with Severson. That was a good one. Utah emerges from that with a power play with 2:34 left. Got to read my handwriting the first time. Yes, I was right. It's 2:34 left. And in 1921, right towards the end of it, it's a shorthanded marker for Columbus. Provorov on a rush and from a distance. Werenski with the assist, so that's one that Connor Ingram would want back. But it's a 2-2 tie. Columbus finishes the kill. They look for the lead in those final 30 seconds. It's 2-2 after 2. Third period, O'Brien has a net feed chance that's held. The shots are 2-1 for Columbus at 3 minutes. Power play for Columbus. Fantilli has a one-timer that's saved. That power play's killed off. Then there's a near miss for Voronkov on a 2-on-1 rush. We get a power play for Columbus. That's killed off. Shots are 8-2 for the Blue Jackets with 6.5 minutes left. Columbus presses with 4.5 minutes left. Utah calls a timeout with 1:57 left. There's a press by Utah. They end up with a power play with 1:22 left. So that rolls into overtime with the score 2-2. Columbus finishes the kill. Keller has a shot that's caught and held. And then at 4:27, Gunther buries his own rebound on a breakaway. Dylan Gunther with another tonight. The assist to Connor Ingram himself. So the final score in this one, 3-2 in overtime for Utah. They go to 23, 22, and 9 with the win. With the loss, Columbus 26, 21, and 7. So it's an overtime loss point. Doesn't help them a lot in this chase for a playoff spot in the East. Shots on net, 11-3 Utah in the first, 11-9 Utah in the second, 9-7 Columbus in the third, and 4-1 Utah in the overtime, including the shot that matters. Final shots, 33-22 for Utah. Power plays, Utah 0-3, Columbus 0-2. The hits, 20-19 Utah. Ingram saves 20 out of 22. Merzlikins, another good night for him, 30 saves on 33 shots. Just they did not get the 10 points tonight. All right, and last game on this board is Carolina and Minnesota. It's another chess match for you. So Anderson versus Gustafsson, early press by Carolina. The teams then trade turnovers, and Minnesota would get the first goal. At 2:55, Trennan buries one in close on a rush. Kuznetsov and Bogosian with the assists, so 1-0 lead for the Wild. Canes look to respond. In fact, the shots are 6-2 for Carolina at 5.5 minutes. The Canes press at 7 minutes. We get a power play for Carolina. That's killed off. Boldy with a near miss on a fast break. We get a power play for the Wild. There's a near miss for Ogren during that. That's killed off as well. Aho with a near miss on a net drive. It's 1-0 Minnesota after 1. Second period. Boldy has a chance that's held. The Canes press at 3 minutes. We get a power play for Carolina. That's killed off. The shots are 3 apiece at 7 minutes. The teams trade rushes. Carolina presses at 8 minutes. Aho to Gostisbehere, near miss there. The Wild press with 9 minutes left. We get a penalty shot for Jackson Blake. It is saved. So does not get a goal on that one. We then get a power play for Minnesota. That's killed off. The Wild press after it's done. Shots are 9 apiece with 4 minutes left. Minnesota with some pressure to close out the period. It stays 1-0 after 2. Third period. The Wild score, but was the whistle first? Nope, the goal counts. So, Hinostroza gets this one from Spurgeon and Brodin at 49 seconds. Vinny making his debut, getting a goal. Kind of fun. So it's 2-0 Minnesota. Canes look to respond, but the shots are 4-0 for the Wild, 3.5 minutes in. The Canes press at 6.5 minutes. Blake has a rush chance that goes wide. There's a power play for the Wild. That's killed off. The shots are 9-6 Carolina with 6.5 minutes left. The Canes press with 4 minutes left. The goalie pull happens with 3 minutes left, and it's 17 minutes and 11 seconds. Aho just turns and wires one to make it a 2-1 score. Jarvis and Svechnikov with the assist, so they pull the goalie again not too long after. Nervous crowd as the Canes press. That Minnesota crowd was a little bit concerned this was going to get tied up. But, yeah, there were numerous failed clears by Minnesota, and they hung on anyways. Final score is 2-1 for the Wild. Both teams are 32-19-4 with this result. The chess magnet's right there at the top of the board as well, since it was 3 goals or less in this game. Shots on net, 15-7 Carolina in the first, 10 apiece in the second, 14-7 Carolina in the third. Final shots, 39-29 for Carolina. Power plays, 0-2 for the Canes, 0-3 for Minnesota. The hits, 19-8 for Minnesota. Anderson saves 22 out of 24, and Gustafsson, 38 saves on 39 shots. Let's go to board number 2. All right, just 4 games on this board, starting with Florida in St. Louis against the Blues. Knight versus Hofer, and 2 seconds in, Bennett had a fight with neighbors. So that's a way to start the game. There's a near miss for Tkachuk from the slot, and then at 3:31, Bolduc buries a rebound and close to open the scoring for St. Louis. Suter and Torchenko with the assists. The shots are 3 apiece at 5.5 minutes. At 7:09, on a tic-tac-toe play, Samoskevich scores to tie the game at 1. Bennett and Tkachuk with the assists. Samoskevich would not finish this game. Greer's then robbed on a rush via a toe save by Hofer. Shots are 10-4 for Florida halfway through the period. The Blues press with 9.5 minutes left, but they're kept to the outside. There's more pressure by the Blues with 4 minutes left. With 3.5 minutes left, Florida gets a power play, and they score on it. Matthew Tkachuk from Ekblad and Barkov at 16:54. We have a 2-1 lead for Florida. Teams trade rushes. Kyrou has a net drive that's blocked. Verhaeghe has a wraparound chance that's saved. It's 2-1 Florida after 1. Second period, shots are 1 apiece at 4 minutes. Bennett's denied as the Panthers get some pressure. We then get a power play for the Blues, and it's in. A net feed deflects in Sundqvist with the goal to tie the game at 2. Thomas and Fowler with the assists at 5:18. So both teams pretty good on the power play tonight. There were only 3 total power plays in this one. The Panthers look to respond. Shots are 4-3 for Florida at 9.5 minutes. The Panthers press with 8.5 minutes left. Bolduc fires one wide on a breakaway. Power play for St. Louis. It's the third and final power play of the game. That's killed off. Rodriguez then has a rush chance. That's held. And so it's 2-2 after 2. Third period, this is where they talk about Shannon Skanes still being out, upper body injury, so we'll get an update on that probably tomorrow. Teams trade early turnovers. Leddy has a slot shot, that saved. The shots are 2-1 St. Louis at 5 minutes. The Blues press at 5.5 minutes. Rodriguez is denied on a net drive. The Panthers press at 7 minutes. Kulikov's denied. The rebound cleared. Shots are 4-2 for Florida with 8 minutes left. The Blues press with 4.5 minutes left. Reinhart has a rush chance that's caught and held. And then at 19:48, Reinhart buries his own rebound in front of the net from Barkov. That's your game winner with 12 seconds left in the game. Florida, 3-2 win. They go to 33-20-3 with the win. With the loss, St. Louis 24-26-5. Shots on net, 16-10 Florida in the first, 10-9 Florida in the second, 8-3 Florida in the third. Florida outshoots St. Louis 34-22. Power plays. Florida scored on the only one they had. St. Louis was 1 for 2. The hits, 29-26 Florida. Knight saves 20 out of 22, and Hofer, 31 saves on 34 shots. All right, moving along. Colorado in Calgary against the Flames and looking to bounce back after the shutout loss against Vancouver. It's Blackwood versus Wolf. Early chance for Kelly is saved. The Flames draw a power play. That becomes a 5-on-3 for over a minute. That's too long. During the 5-on-3, Huberdeau wires one pass to screen at 3:22. Weegar and Coronado with the assists, so Calgary opens the scoring. The Avs kill off the 5-on-4. Shots are 5-4 for the Flames at 7 minutes. The Avs press at 8.5 minutes. Kadri's denied. Blackwood holds. Coronado has a shot that's caught and held. We get a power play for Calgary. That's killed off. The Avs then score to tie the game, but it's offside. So it stays 1-0 Calgary after 1. Second period, early press by Colorado, and they score. Makar wires one far side from the right circle. McKinnon and Taves with the assists at 1:19. Flames look to respond, but Colorado would get the lead. At 5:34, it's Lehkonen from McKinnon and Natchez. It's a 2-1 lead for Colorado. Shots are 4-2 for the Avs at 8 minutes. We get a power play for Colorado. That's killed off. The Flames then get a power play. That's killed off as well. Calgary gets another after Wood has a fight with Klapka, so they emerge with a power play there, but that's killed off too. Natchez has a rush chance that's caught and held with 1:27 left. The Avs get a power play. There's a shorthanded chance where Backlund gets it to Coleman at the net, but there's a near miss there. And then at 19:43, Natchez scores a goal to go with his assist. He tips this one in close on the power play from McKinnon and Makar. It's 3-1 Colorado after 2. Third period, early press by the Avs. The shots are 1 apiece at 3.5 minutes. Strong forechecking by the Avs in this as well. Weegar fires one wide on a face-off win. O'Connor's denied on a 2-on-1 rush. Klapka has a net drive chance that's defended, which is impressive because he's like, 9'6". There's a power play for Colorado. That's killed off. 2 shots on net. Huberdeau has a net drive chance that's held. And then at 12:53, Natchez gets the second goal of the game. Malinsky and Kelly with the assist. He wires that one on a breakaway. I think Marty Natchez is comfortable in Colorado. I kept hearing about how the trade was a fleece by Carolina. Is it, though? The Flames press with 5 minutes left. Pospisil has a chance, is kicked aside. And then at 18:14, Anderson scores from Pospisil and Kadri to make this game a little bit closer. So you pull the goalie on a face-off win. Eventually, the Flames call a timeout with 21.1 seconds left. They're not able to manage anything. Colorado holds on, wins this one 4-2. They go to 32-22-2 with the win. With the loss, Calgary 26-21-7. Shots on net, 11-9 Calgary in the first, 17-4 Colorado in the second, 14-8 Calgary in the third. Final shots 34-29 for Colorado. Power plays, the Avs 1 for 3, Calgary 1 for 5. The hits, 21-13 for Calgary. Blackwood, 27 saves on 29 shots. Another good start for Mackenzie Blackwood. And Wolf, 30 saves on 34 shots. It could have been much worse. Wolf had a pretty good game. Just the Avs are when they're on, they're very precise with their shots, and they can hurt a goaltender save percentage. All right, next up, we're going to talk about Toronto and Seattle. So it's Stolarz versus Decord. Anthony's back. Glad to see him back. McCabe exits early. He would come back. The Kraken press early as well. The Leafs press are kept to the outside. We get a power play for Seattle. This is where McCabe comes back. There's a near miss for McCann. That power play's killed off. The shots are 3-0 Seattle at 4 minutes. Leafs get a power play. That was killed off. One shot on net. And then at 7 minutes and 23 seconds, Philippe Myers scores. That's his first in over 800 days. Goes in off Beniers' leg, but they all count. Tavares and Marner with the assists. It's 1-0 for the Leafs. Power play for Seattle. That's killed off. Stevens can't bury one in close as the Kraken gets some pressure. Shots are 8-5 for Toronto with 6 minutes left. Camp to Lawrence. There's a near miss there, or Lawrence, depending on how you pronounce it. His dad pronounces it Lawrence. He pronounces it Lawrence. No idea. So 2:54 left. The Leafs get a 4-minute power play, so a double minor. They scored during the first 2 minutes at 18:53. McMahon from Riley and Domi, and then Tavares hits a post. Almost makes it 3-0. It's 2-0 Toronto after one, and there were a lot of Leafs fans in attendance for this one enjoying it. Second period, the Kraken kill off the rest of the 2-minute penalty that was there. Seattle presses at 2.5 minutes. There's a near miss for Austin Matthews on a net drive. Too many Leafs on the ice. The Kraken get a power play. That's killed off. Shots are 6-2 for Seattle at 7 minutes. Matthews is denied as the Leafs press. Kraken press at the half. We get a fight between Benoit and Bjorkstrand, where Benoit after looked a little gassed. Near miss for Tolvanen as the Kraken press. The Leafs score. Decord says high stick. They reviewed it. Not a high stick. Nyes scores from McCabe at 12:37. So there you go. Toronto with a 3-1 lead. The Kraken press to respond. The Leafs press with 2 minutes left. It stays 3-0 after 2. But Seattle's dangerous in third periods. So there's an early press by Seattle in the third. Wright has a shot that's caught and held. Shots are 2-1 Seattle at 4.5 minutes. Domi has a rush chance that's saved. And then at 5:43 on a rush as well, Tolvanen scores from Bjorkstrand and Decord. So roofing that one makes it 3-1 in favor of Toronto. Kraken press at 9.5 minutes. We get a power play for Seattle. There's a shorthanded rush by Marner. That's defended, but that power play is also killed off. Leafs press with 7 minutes left. Stevenson fires one high in a rush. Goalie pull happens with 4 minutes left. With 3:08 left, it becomes a 6-on-4 as the Kraken get a power play, even though the player hit himself in the face with the stick. But what are you going to do? So that's killed off, and with 1:02 left, the Leafs guilty of an icing, but they win this one 3-1. They go to 33-19-2 with the win, so they stay within a point of Florida, who won as well. Seattle 23-29-4. The slide continues. Shots on net, 10-7 Toronto in the first, 9-8 Seattle in the second. Both teams had 12 shots in the third. Final shots 30-28 for Toronto. Power plays, the Leafs 1 for 3, Seattle 0 for 5. The hits 15-14 Seattle. Stolars 27 saves on 28 shots. Decord 27 saves as well, but on 30 shots. All right. Moving on to the final game of the night, and it's Vancouver and Seattle. If you're having trouble sleeping tonight, maybe watch replay of this. I'm kidding, kind of, sort of. But there were some slow portions of this game. So it's Demko versus Vanacek. O'Connor has an early chance that's held. The Sharks press at a minute and a half. They don't get to the net, though. The shots are 4-0 for the Canucks. 2.5 minutes in. Gaudreau misses one wide on a net drive. The teams trade rushes. We get a power play for the Canucks. Hronek hits a post. That power play's killed off. No shots on net for Vancouver there. Eklund has a slot shot that's held. The shots are evening up now as the Sharks play improves later in the period. Or the Canucks play worsens, depending on how you see it. Glass half full, glass half empty. D. Petey has a one-timer that's caught and held. Of course, that's Elias Pettersson, D. Petey. Otherwise, I say Marcus Pettersson. Sharks press with 2.5 minutes left. Toffoli has a chance this blocker to side with 43.8 seconds left. The Canucks get a power play. It is scoreless after one. The power play rolls over into the second period. The Sharks do finish the kill. The shots are 3-2 Vancouver at 4.5 minutes. The Sharks press at 5 minutes. Joshua has a rush chance that ends up hitting the outside of the net. We get a power play for the Canucks. Besser has a wrister that's held. That power play's killed off. 5 shots on net. The first 2 power plays had none. This power play had 5. So feast or famine with that Canucks power play tonight. Shots are 8-4 for Vancouver with 9 minutes left. The Sharks press with 8.5 minutes left. Will Smith fires one high on a breakaway. Hronek has a net drive that's blocked. The Sharks press with a minute and a half left, and they end up drawing a power play with 27.2 seconds left. So that rolls over into the third period. Still no goals on the board. The Canucks finish the kill early in the third. Podorowski's denied after that's done. Demko holds there. The shots are 2-0 San Jose at 3 minutes. Delandry has a 3-on-2 chance that saved. Then there's a delay game call. Gives the Canucks a power play. There's a shorthanded chance for Eklund that's saved. And I put right here, I even underlined terrible. This was a terrible power play. Couldn't set up at all. And then at the very last possible second that it could have been a power play goal, they score on it. So it's a terrible power play that scores. Joshua tips one in from Suter and Myers at 8:04. It's one of those ones that they may change the clock time. Sometimes they change it to make it a power play goal or not. I think if they were going to change it, it would have happened already, but I'm just throwing that out there in case at the time you watch this, they have made an adjustment and it's no longer showing as a power play goal. They certainly didn't seem to deserve a power play goal the way that power play looked. So after that, the Canucks press with 9.5 minutes left, but the shots are 7-2 for San Jose with 9 minutes left. Sharks press with 7 minutes left with 3:56 left. They get a power play. The goalie pull happens with 2:10 left. I knew San Jose was going to score, and they did at 18:32. Toffoli on a turnover by Hedl. Eklund with the assist there. So it's 1-1. We're going into overtime. Vancouver coming into this one 3-10 in overtime. They've lost their last 8 decisions in overtime. It's not been a fun overtime for the Canucks. San Jose came into this one 4-2 in overtime. So we know, I did that video not too long ago. At least they got a point about the Vancouver Canucks. Were they going to be in that? At least they got a point category again. So Sharks control early. The teams trade turnovers. And then Drew O'Connor is awarded a penalty shot. And Drew O'Connor buries it at 33 seconds. So the Canucks, they sneak out of here with a win, 2-1. They go to 25, 18, and 11. And with the Flames losing in regulation, the Canucks winning, the Canucks are now 2 points ahead of Calgary in that race for the final playoff spot. The San Jose Sharks 15, 34, and 7 with the overtime loss point. And of course, the chess magnets there because there were 3 goals in this game. 3 goals or less is a chess match. Shots on net 7-6 San Jose in the first, 13-9 Vancouver in the second. 16-3 for San Jose in the third. Both teams had 2 shots in the overtime. The Canucks, the shot that matters. Final shots 34-24 for San Jose. Demko was excellent. Power plays 1 for 4 for Vancouver. San Jose 0 for 2. The hits 26-18 for San Jose. As mentioned, Demko 33 saves on 34 shots. Can we say Demko's back? Can I say that? That's 3 good starts in his last 4. And Vanacek, 22 saves on 24 shots in the loss, but I thought Vanacek was good too. So there you go. You're all caught up on tonight's action. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below as always. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe in the event you may not have done so already. Thank you guys so much for all your support as always. It's greatly appreciated. I will talk to you again soon.